Michael Plumstead, and I want to work through a process with you through the following videos where I follow my health path since the time I first started getting painful legs and bones and joints and feet and had difficulty in walking without the help of some type of device like crutches or a wheelchair. And I feel that through all my research and trial and error and experimentation on myself, I have something to share for those who find themselves in the same situation as I do or did, and to help you through a process of not having to experiment like I did and go straight to the causes and the cause of the causes, and to move forward through a healthy, pain-free life. And so that's the purpose. This is the introduction, to introduce myself and perhaps the first aspect that I'd like to share with you. You know, when we get out of school and we start our careers in our 20s, we are full of bounce and happiness, and you know, we might have an injury because of a sporting injury or an accident, so forth, that causes pain. But generally we're out of pain, and we move forward. But from somewhere in our 30s and heading towards midlife, the health graph is destined to go down. So once you get to your mid-30s, then health starts causing issues based largely on, up until that time, the type of lifestyle you've led, and particularly the diet and the stress that you've been under. But once we reach somewhere in the early 60s, that's when most people, on average, statistically, people retire because of pain and disease and illnesses. And then the next 10 years is spent in pain and discomfort and treating diseases, some severe, some life-threatening, and eventually in the early 70s, statistically 72 or 73, we die, having had at least 10 years of total discomfort and pain. And if we had, my theory is that if we don't go through that 10 years of pain, or if we catch in the middle of it and we remedy it, we can then live many, many more decades ahead with our ability to tick off things on our bucket list, and possibly, like myself, even start a new career at the age of 70. So it's only because I love working and I love what I do, and so that's part of what I'm going to share with you as we move forward in this series of videos. So just to recap a little bit, I've been in pain. You know, I started off with gout in my mid-30s, I guess, and I started to recognize for the first time that I had bipolar. You know, because people with bipolar don't actually know that they have bipolar. Other people do, everybody around them, but you can't tell somebody they've got bipolar because they won't believe you. I suffer to things like herpes, which is all sorts of things happening on the extremities of your body, and it's not just your hands. Arthritis, diabetes has been the biggest challenge, and that's affected my pain in my legs, and I'll cover a lot of that as well, with regards to things like rheumatoid arthritis and neuropathy, and diabetic neuropathy as well, and as well as osteoporosis. So, all those things, I mean, in between those, there were things like Lyme's disease and leaky gut, and I discovered I had mold, and I landed up with a mild stroke. So I guess I'm no different to a lot of you who might be hopefully watching this video, and maybe you can identify with some of the things that I have been through and gone through. But with all the symptoms that I experienced, like in my leg joints and in my muscle with weaknesses, all of that still it boiled down to pain. Difficulty in walking, pain, difficulty in walking, pain, difficulty in walking, and that made you fatigued. I get up in the morning and my muscles are fatigued and muscles are tired. I may or may not have had a good night's sleep, which is very important to have a good night's sleep. But it was really dreadful, and depression is part and parcel of it, because you think you really want to go on. A little bit of brain fog, also and then you catch the infections or colds and flus and things, and you get constipation, you get diarrhea, and my neck used to feel so stiff and sore at times, and not necessarily only when I woke up, I would, around where the vagus nerve is, and but I'll be talking about those things, and I just want to finish off this first introduction video with the first aspect that I discovered with my research, and that is terribly important, and that is acidity of the blood. Acidity decreases the body's ability to absorb minerals and other nutrients. Okay, so it doesn't matter what you're taking to try and help it. The acidity in the blood just stops that absorption or decreases it immensely. So the acidity also decreases the energy levels in the cells themselves, and it also decreases the ability of the body to repair cells. And then, of course, as you know, we've got to regenerate cells all the time, every day, different parts of our body. And so that becomes a problem if your body's acidity is. And so you age much more quickly, and because your body can't renew themselves. Acidity also stops the detoxing of heavy metals in your body. And my goodness, I'll be talking about that as well. So between all those things and the fatigues and the illnesses and the pains and so forth, acidity is largely to blame. But the most, shall we say, the important aspect that we need to just know about acidity makes tumors like tumor cells like cancer thrive. Okay. Cancer can't live in a body that is alkaline. It just can't. Okay, but there's a lot more to it, and I'm not going to be talking about cancer now. I did write a book about cancer before I started this series last year, and I've published it, and called Cancer Holocaust: The Road to Self-Healing. You can get a copy on my website, michaelplumstead.com, my first name, surname.com, and you can pick it up from there. So I'm going to pick up in the next video that acidity causes inflammation, and I'd like to stop there because inflammation in the blood is an enormous problem. So until I've made that, goodbye.